What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why? Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to my Thanksgiving tradition, classic wrestling reminiscing Starrcade. And I will be doing another video featuring Survivor Series, but I'm going to kick things off with Starrcade 86. Of course, Starrcade is the original granddaddy of them all, the original Thanksgiving tradition. This year took place at two arenas on closed circuit. Closed circuit was a prelude to pay-per-view. Best way I describe closed circuit, basically you buy a ticket, go to arena, watch it on the big screen. Unless you live in Greensboro or Atlanta, which some of the matches, like I said, this was taking place at two different arenas. So therefore, some of the matches were in Greensboro, got closed circuit or beamed into the Omni Coliseum. The other one, the Atlanta version, likewise being beamed over there. But yeah, like I said too, this was done in two different arenas, and it was the fourth Starrcade event with Jim Crocker Promotions producing it under the National Wrestling Alliance banner. Took place, like I said, Thanksgiving, November 27th, 1986. Oops. And for your Greensboro team, you had Tom Miller providing the ring announcing. Your play-by-play team was Bob Cottle and Johnny Weaver. And the Atlanta Omni team, you had Rick Stewart doing play-by-play with Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone pulling double duty here as also the ring announcer. Like I said, I hope you folks enjoy this. If you do, you folks know what to do. Click the like button. Hey, if you got memories of Starrcade 86 or any other Starrcade, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Also, if you just like listening to a regular fan talk about this sport of professional wrestling, click on that subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell. That way, when new content comes out, you will be notified. That's why they call it the notification bell. Anyway, now with all that BS out of the way, let's have some fun talking about some wrestling. First match of Starrcade 86. To want to kick things off, we had a tag team match. Tim Horner and Nelson Royal went up against Rocky and Don Coronado. This was a good little, face versus face match. This was at the Greensboro Coliseum. Rafael Sonny Fargo was the referee. Go ahead, repeat the story about Rafael's. Rafael's Sonny Fargo was a referee for Jim Crockett, obviously. But sometimes on holidays like Christmas and stuff like that, he would go back to Memphis to team with his brother Jackie or Don. But their story was in Memphis. Remember, we didn't have no internet. Not the cable wasn't as huge at the time. But what the story was, hey, Sonny Fargo is in a nut house, but on holidays they'll let him come down and visit, and he would do like the comedy stuff, bite wrestlers on the tush or things of that nature. So that was a brief little history about Sonny Fargo. I was always a fan of Tim Horner. I know probably not popular to say that now, especially if you're a big Jim Cornette fan. Apparently they had a falling out years ago in Smoky Mountain, but he was a very good, fast-paced, technical wrestler. Not a lot of high-flying, but very quick. Did the kip-ups, did the flips over the backs, things of that nature. Probably a little more. I don't know. I was almost comparing him to Dean Malenko. He was Tim Horner was, even though he's called White Lightning Tim Horner, uh, he was very quick and kept it mostly to the mat. Of course, his finisher was the bridging O'Connor roll. Um, and Rocky Cardona on this exchange here. Did a great job keeping up with Tim Horner's pace. Then the two older veterans, Don Kernodle, a longtime heel. He won NWA World Tag Team titles with Sergeant Slaughter and Ivan Koloff. Then they turned against him when Nikita and Crusher Khrushchev became more prominent. But yeah, they were longtime stars of the Mid Atlantic region. Nelson Royal, a forever time junior heavyweight champion as well. Um, but they kept it in the ring. Like I said, no suicide dives, no plunges, anything like that. Kept it in the ring. Very good match here. Straight up wrestling. Maybe one punch to the gut in the whole match. But like I said, it was Bayface versus Bayface. Horner would reverse the O'Connor roll on Rocky Cardona for the win in this match. All right, now we go to Atlanta, where we have Brad Armstrong. Yes, one of my favorites here. A longtime favorite. Used to be a big fan of Brad Armstrong. Actually, Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner uh, were longtime team. They were former NWA National Tag Team Champions, as well as UWF Tag Team Champions. This one they got slapped with the name Lightning Express in the UWF. But we see old Scrappy McGowan, the referee, in this one. Again, old time ref for Georgia Championship Wrestling and for the Crockett's. Anytime it was for in front of the TBS studios, more likely he was one of the referees. Um, I like how we got the referee actually chastising the wrestlers for not breaking and not following the rules on this one. Something you don't really see too much of these days. Sometimes I'm flabbergasted when I do see that. I'm like, holy crap, and I actually pop for it. But most of the referees today, they kind of just stand there. But a lot of these referees were good. Scrappy, uh, the Hebners, Tommy Young, Bill Alfonso. Uh, but during this match, though, when I was rewatching it, I was like, man, as nice as she was to look at, Precious could be quite annoying. If you go back and watch it, which I do highly recommend, go back, watch it. You can hear probably Precious over the commentators, Tony Schiavone and Rick Stewart. But like I said, she did a great job of drawing heat. This one ended in a 15-minute draw, but they still wanted to go at it and kind of had a little bit of brawl afterwards. Brad Armstrong getting the best of that one, but like I said, technically sound. Go watch anybody's shooting interview. Arn Anderson, anybody, they will speak highly of Brad Armstrong. I don't think too many people ever say anything bad about Brad Armstrong. I think Rick Steiner probably didn't like him at first, but I think he's kind of like Bobby Eaton. People just wind up liking the guy. Um, all right, next up we got the battle of the street people of Jimmy Valiant. You got Hector Guerrero and Baron Von Raschke going up against. Oops. They're going up against part of Jim Jones, Paul Jones's army. That is Shaska Watley, used to be Pez Watley, and the Barbarian. This match went 7 minutes 25 seconds. As you probably do know, Hector Guerrero is the older brother of the late great Eddie Guerrero. Got an early shine until Barbarian countered across body block with a guillotine. Fans chanting bald headed geek to Shaska Watley. Like I said, Shaska Watley used to be Pez Watley, Pistol Pez Watley. Was a fan favorite. Used to be an ally to Jimmy Valiant. Then the promo came up and Jimmy Valiant said, hey, Pistol Pez is one of the best black athletes in wrestling. Then something snapped right there, and he attacked Jimmy Valiant and would help clip his hair. Then Jimmy Valiant and Shaska got in a match, and a hair versus hair match where Valiant was able to get some revenge and shave the head of Shaska Wally. So when he went heel, he changed his name to Shaska Wally. But of course, I mean, I guess fans didn't think about it. You have Baron Von Raschke in there. Again, I think he probably was more of a star in AWA, but went to Crockett's here. They turned him babyface. Um, but yeah, he's got nice shiny bald head as well. So that could have hurt those poor Baron's feelings when the crowd chanted bald headed geek. But I'm pretty sure he noticed the difference. But he will get the hot tag in this one. Clean house, slapped a call on Shaska, but the Barbarian broke it up. All four men went at it. Shaska missed a corner charge. Baron hit a elbow drop for the win. Yeah, kind of lame. Barbarian threw out Hector, then joined Shaska in a beatdown of Baron Von Raschke until Hector Guerrero came in and made the save. Next up, we had a match for the United States Tag Team Championship. It is the Russians, Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev. Probably know him more as Demolition Smash. Do I got that in my notes? Okay. Hopefully, I'm trying not to repeat myself in my notes. But anyway, uh, and the Repo Man, and I think Crusher Darso for a while, or Barry Darso. Kind of went through the whole name change thing after Demolition split up. But like I said, this is a United States Tag Team title match. Brief little history here. When Jim Crockett acquired the TBS time slot, he also acquired Georgia Championship Wrestling. And this included all the national singles and tag team championship. Ole and Arn Anderson were the national tag team champions. Ole got injured, so they had to vacate the national tag team championship in January of '86. They got rebranded into the United States Tag Team Championship. The Russians won a tournament in September of '86. So here's a rematch, actually, of the tournament final. Ivan and Crusher against the Kansas Jayhawks, Bobby Jaggers, and from Oilthorpe, Texas, Dirty Dutch Mantel, Bad Mother, you know what. But anyway, this was also a no DQ match. Shoe Baby, the whip of Dutch Mantel, made an appearance, but it was the Russian chain that played the deciding factor in this match. Ivan ducked a Jaggers clothesline, and Crusher Khrushchev hit Bobby Jaggers from behind with that chain. Ivan covered 1, 2, 3. The winner of this one, and still your United States Tag Team Champions, the Russians, Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev. I think the next champions after that was Barry Windham and Ron Garvin. Next up, we had a Indian strap match here. It was Wahoo McDaniel versus Rick Rude. He was managed at the time by Paul Jones. Of course, Jim Crockett Promotions was the next stop for Rick Rude after his championship world-class run. They fed him to Wahoo McDaniel first, master of the Indian strap match, but I think a lot of people know the reputation of Rick Rude being a legit tough guy. Now up to this point, but Rude beat McDaniel in the corner with a strap on his fist. Changed that. At this point, we didn't have no color. So this is the fifth match in. No one was bleeding, no color whatsoever. Unlike, I think it was Starrcade 85 or 84, where it was like color, 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 color. A lot of color in those, but this one, I'm having to think that since WWF at the time was trying to be more family, more kid friendly, they didn't do the blading or the coloring, the bleeding. Uh, maybe they say, well, maybe might have to change this up, but Wahoo did get busted up. Both wrestlers wound up bleeding in this one. Uh, and like I said, every Starrcade after that, before this, a lot of blood in this match. But the drama of having to pull your opponent around four corners was pretty intriguing. Wahoo got three. Paul Jones jumped on apron, but quickly got chopped down. People talking about Ric Flair's chops. Wahoo McDaniel had a lethal chop for himself. Rude hit him from behind, causing Wahoo to hit the fourth corner, winning the match. Then Rude and Jones started to beat down Wahoo McDaniel until Hector Guerrero and Baron Von Raschke came in and made the save. All right, next up for the NWA Central States Heavyweight Championship, it is the champion Sam Houston defeating against Bill Dundee. At this time, I think JCP had purchased the Kansas City territory and sent some of the JCP talent over to Kansas City to maybe help Papa House or whatever. Two of those guys, of course, was Sam Houston and Bill Dundee. I think they sent the Warlord over there too, trying to get some seasoning. Um, but we get a slight ref bump at the end of this one. But Scrappy wasn't out enough. He did see Bill Dundee use Sam Houston's own boot uh, to knock him out. Had the cover, but like I said, the referee caught it, disqualified Bill Dundee. So your winner of this one was Sam Houston by disqualification. All right, probably the shortest match of the night. This was a 4-minute match. We had Jimmy Valiant with Big Mama going against Paul Jones. This is the hair versus hair match. A long time feud with these two gentlemen. These two, then pretty much they're each other's entourages and friends, if you want to call that. It's a lot of back and forth. Like I said, I just mentioned, talked about Shaska Watley, Manny Fernandez, or Raging Bull. He was also a friend of Jimmy Valiant, but got paid off. He sold out, went to the Paul Jones Army. Uh, but yeah, Paul Jones, like I said, uh, on this one, if Paul Jones loses, he got his head shaved. But if Jimmy Valiant lost, bye bye to Big Mama's hair. Um, but yeah, we had Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. He is going to be, I guess, the corner guy for Paul Jones. But part of another stipulation of this match that Manny Fernandez is going to be locked in the cage. He didn't want to go. The Big Chief came in, chopped him. Wahoo McDaniel chopped him, sending him into the cage. Uh, Jimmy Valiant was more of a comedy wrestler at this point, but still knew when to get serious. If you want to go back to where he lost the hair versus hair match, where he had to get his head shaved, the fans were really behind Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. But he sat there in all seriousness and said, "Look, I lost." Sat there, got his head shaved, and had didn't have that funny look on his face. Just had that serious, I'm ready to get even look on his face. Jimmy Valiant did that probably better than anybody. But like I said, short match here. Valiant had Jones in a sleeper hole, but noticed Paul kept pulling out a foreign object, shoved him to the corner. Jimmy used the foreign object, knocked out Paul Jones. 1, 2, 3. Valiant wins, and started shaving the head of Paul Jones. Then got attacked by Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez, uh, beating him up pretty bad until the Street Peoples, Baron, Hector, and Wahoo came in and helped him out. But yeah, Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez were eventually later on the next World Tag Team. Oh, probably gave something away. Strike that one. All right, next up we get a Louisville street fight. This one, Big Bubba Rogers with Jim Cornette going against Ron Garvin. Big Bubba, of course, was probably more famous known as Big Boss Man in the WWF. I was sitting there. Of course, you folks know how I got that pet peeve about them not able to use the original music they had used during those days. It was copyrighted music. I know there's copyright laws and stuff like that. But I kind of had a brain fart and was like, well, not a brain fart, but epiphany. I was like, well, since they're not using original music for Big Bubba Rogers, uh, because of the copyrights, they should have the WWE that they made into WWE should have added the Big Boss Man's theme for when Big Bubba came around. But uh, guess I'm probably the only one probably thought that was funny. But this was a slogger knocker. We get the Tommy Young ref bump. Tommy Young, the senior official of the National Wrestling Alliance. I would always taking a bump. Actually, one bump actually in his career with it was in a match with Mike Rotundo and Tommy Rich in center stage. But anyway, Garvin hit the pile driver on Bubba, but Cornette nailed Garvin with a tennis racket. Uh, Tommy Young regrouped, got back in the ring, made a 10 count, both mirror down. He said, hey, there must be a winner in this match. So the first one up wins. So Bubba wound up distracting Tommy Young a little bit, allowing Cornette to clip Garvin's knee with a racket. So hitting him a second time this time. Of course, this caused Garvin to fall. Big Bubba was actually able to get up. So since he was able to be the first one to get up, he won the match. Even though we all seen Ron Garvin, got up, but Tommy Dunn didn't see it, so therefore he can't call it. After that, we get the first blood match. I think this is the very first blood match I would ever see. It is Tully Blanchard with J.J. Dillon, a member of the Four Horsemen, going against Dusty Rhodes, who is and of course, this was for the NWA World Television Championship. Uh, some great storytelling here. Some stalling in the beginnings led to JJ getting busted open with a bionic elbow. So they was able to say, hey, that bionic elbow is, you know, um, pretty lethal. I mean, look how easily Dusty was able to bust open J.J. Dillon. So at this point, Tully avoided the elbow like the plague. We get a ref bump again. Dusty was able to open up Tully, but Earl Hebner was still down. Dillon was in the corner, and he kind of did this before the match. This was part of the stalling part where he put the headgear on and put the Vaseline on, what boxers would use when. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you seen boxing matches when one of the boxers get cut, they try to seal it up with some Vaseline. But that's what JJ was trying to do. Hands him a roll of quarters. Tully winds up nailing Dusty with it. Referee sees Dusty is bleeding here. Therefore, your winner is Tully Blanchard, and he becomes your new World Television Champion. Of course, this match also had a Dusty with a little different haircut. Had the or hair hairdo, excuse me. So he had a little bit of the size of his head shaved. I guess he used a marker or probably one of Road Warriors paint and wrote Telly on each side of his head. So that looked. I thought as a kid, I thought that looked pretty cool. I was like, I want to get my hair like that, but I'm not gonna put somebody's name on it. Just want my hair like that. But parents didn't think that would be cool at the time. All right, so here we go. The uh, surname of the start of Starrcade 86 was the Night of the Skywalkers. And up next is the Skywalkers match. It's a Skyfall match, pretty high up in the air. It's the Road Warriors, Animal Hawk with Paul Ellering going against the Midnight Express, Bobby and Dennis Condrey. I do believe in '87 they had another Skywalkers match. The Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson going against Bobby and Stan Lane. So that switch was made within a year after this. But eh, this match was what it was. I believe I did check this up. I think Hawk had either a bad leg injury or even a broken leg. Uh, and or Animal was able to tape it up real good, so he can actually sort of function. Um, but I kind of seen I kind of did notice watching it this time that Hawk did have a little bit trouble climbing up on the scaffold, but he was able to do the match. And watching this again and being an older person, I seen this and I seen one of the rails get kind of wobbly. I ain't afraid to tell y'all folks. I've been like, screw this. I'll fight right here. Y'all come to me. But anyway, I mean, I climb the scaffolds at work all the time, doing masonry inspections and things of that sort. So I try. Now that I'm older, I look at them like fair rides. How they get taken down and put back up like in between towns. Not like you're like a Six Flags where they have a ride, they build it in a spot and it stays at that spot. The amusement rides and fairs, they get built up and taken right back down, kind of like scaffolds. They get built up and taken, sometimes multiple times in one site. They go on one end of the building, put the block up, go to another end of the building, put all the block up, so on and so forth. But anyway, so we get the monkey bar chicken fight here. Dennis drops, Bobby drops, Road Warriors win, get their revenge. Jim Cornette, he gets chased up the scaffold. And notice here, Animal did a great job of helping Cornette, get to the bottom of the rails. Unfortunately, Big Bubba Rogers missed the assignment. And this is a, historic story. It's told by Jim Cornette. Uh, Bubba didn't catch Cornette. Therefore, he went straight down. No, because he was supposed to kind of catch him and fall with him. But Bubba Rogers totally missed him. And Jim Cornette legitimately blew out his knee, injured his knee pretty bad. All right, next up, we got the World Tag Team title match in a steel cage. Pretty long match here, 20 minutes, 20 seconds. It is the Rock and Roll Express, the NWA World Tag Team Champions, going against the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Arn and Ole Anderson. Again, this is a steel cage match. Very old school steel cage match. Uh, uh, Basically, the purpose of the cage is to keep competitors inside the ring and everyone else out of the ring. And actually, on this one, normal tag rules applied. You had a tag. I mean, it was just basically a match inside of a steel cage. But we also know that sometimes that cage becomes a weapon at times. Um, and like I said, in this one, this was one of those. The only weapon in this match was the cage. Uh, Anderson's will look over Robert's leg. Ricky got tag in. Uh, but wind up getting off that high horse real quick when he got rammed into the cage, and you can almost hear all the girls crying. They're squeaking like he was a member of the Beatles. If you've seen like old footage of the Beatles or a boy band, whatever, that was kind of the thing that Ricky and Robert um, attracted. They attracted the young girls or all girls, I'm pretty sure, at that time. So you could almost hear all the girls crying when poor Ricky, poor Punky, he got busted open. The Andersons would work over Ricky's arm, but he fought and clawed, would not give up. All four men wind up going at it. Ole scoots Ricky up to do a body slam, but Robert Gibson drop kicks Ricky from behind, causing him to fall on top of Ole Anderson. 1, 2, 3, your winner, and still tag team champions at this point was the Rock and Roll Express. Like I said, later on they will wind up losing to Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude. and it is a main event time. Whoops. I think everybody kind of knows the story here. Uh, this was supposed to be. Oops. This was supposed to have been Magnum TA. This was supposed to be the night that Magnum TA would defeat Ric Flair for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, become the world champion. Not sure how long he was going to keep it, but a car accident back in October would end that dream and his career. So Dusty decided to turn Nikita babyface. There was a cage match. I forgot what town it was. It might be Baltimore more or maybe Charlotte, something like that. So I think it was supposed to be originally Dusty Magnum against, I believe it was Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and so Magnum has car accident. I think Barry Windham was about to come right back, because him and Magnum was like real close, but Dusty decided, well, I'm not going to just put Barry in there right yet. I'm going to turn Nikita babyface, so he wound up being the mystery partner of Nikita. And if you can see that footage, you should. I mean, this is like natural, organic uh, fans pop, crowd pops. It's something that's you don't really see that much of these days. A lot of stuff is piped into. So basically, they inserted Nikita Koloff in the main event of Starrcade '86. Nikita had matches with Ric Flair before. When Nikita first came in, Flair was a babyface world champion. Uh, and of course, this is the infamous thing was, I think it was Flair against Nikita in the cage at the Omni. Then the Russians jumped on Ric Flair, attacked him. Um, Dusty came out, helped, but Flair didn't want it. That's when Ole and Arn Anderson came in there. I think Tully Blanchard came in too and wound up attacking Dusty Rhodes, and Ric Flair joined in in the attack of Dusty Rhodes, breaking his leg. So this is what set off the birth of the Four Horsemen. So anyway, now Nikita is a babyface, so they started Koloff in the world title match with Ric Flair. Ric Flair prime shape here. I mean, you see that photo right there. I mean, uh, definitely I mean, Jim Cornette, again, said he was a genetic freak, man. He can go an hour and no heavy breathing like it was nothing. But anyway, started off with Nikita, no selling some chops. You know how much? That's probably got to be the hardest thing to do as a wrestler, especially multiple chops. Because you got to sit there like no sell it, knowing that it freaking hurts. Anyway, Flair works over Nikita after he overshot a sickle and up on the floor. Nikita comes back. Tommy Young gets hit. Nikita hits a sickle clothesline again, no ref. Scrappy McGowan comes in. Uh, he winds up eating a Russian sickle as well. Young came back. He gets pushed around, and the match ends at a double DQ. And after that, of course, we got a big brawl at the end. Like I said, uh, double disqualification, no decisive win. Like to hear from other fans who is probably around this point. Uh, I'm pretty sure this probably left a bad taste in their mouth. It's like, okay, we uh, fine. I mean, we'd still like to see a decisive win. It's supposed to be the big event of the year for the National Wrestling Alliance. Um, but we didn't have no decisive win. And I remember seeing it on VHS and thinking, oh man, I could at least seen a. I mean, even though I know Ric Flair kept the title, but I mean, even if Ric Flair cheated the win, I get it, no big deal. But I guess they want to keep Flair the champion and Nikita strong, so they came up with a double disqualification. Now this Starrcade holds a place near and dear to my heart. Um, this was the first VHS wrestling tape my dad got me. Ordered it through Turner Home Entertainment. Got it for my birthday. The following year. My birthday's in March, and he got it for me for a birthday. So yeah, this was the first VHS tape I had, or my dad got for me. Of course, when I got a job and all that, I wound up getting more VHS tapes and DVDs and Blu-rays, and now everything's streaming. But like I said, this one near dear to my heart. Uh, as far as the event's concerned, pretty good event. Good matches. Um, and like I said, it was cool to go back and see just how organic the fans' reaction was to every one of these superstars, every one of these wrestlers and stuff like that. Um, but in saying that, I did notice we lost a lot of legends that participate in Starrcade 86. So, going to end this video here with a little tribute to those uh, stars and personnel who made this made wrestling very good at the time, and definitely was a cool for me, because this a lot of kids, they go to one fandom or another. This was my fandom. This put me at ease. Uh, I mean, not that I had a track of life or anything like that, um, but this, bad day at school, whatever kids go through, we went through the same things at that time too. And Saturday night wrestling, uh, that always kind of cheered me up. And so, like I said, going to have a tribute to all the people who entertained me during that time. Uh, Other than that, you folks have a good one. Take it easy, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here, saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now, don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real, because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one, and take it easy.